Hello, it's the Imperfect Gardener, and I have all these rows here that I need to weed. These first 3 rows here are my cold crop. Lots of lettuces, and I got carrots over here, and I got, I don't know, Swiss chard, and I got radishes I need to get thin out too down there. Lots of work to do here in these few rows tonight. It's almost 7. It's been rainy most of the day. I got home from work. I'm going to do a little bit. So I just wanted to show you how I do with the weeding. Some people worry about weeds really early. Haven't been worried about this so far. I knew these weeds were growing. A lot of it is just grass growing up. This weeded grass I get. Looks like grassy stuff. I knew it was coming. I knew it. However, I don't like pulling the weeds around things until the stuff is established enough that I can tell what I'm pulling and what's a weed. So basically, I did go up and down these rows a couple of days ago with my rototiller and in between and just took the weeds out that were there. And I also came along close to some of them on the sides and got some of that, raked off along the edge. So the main weeding is just in the middle at this point. But you have to be sure you're not picking out the stuff you want. So that's why I wait, and I do it when they get a little bigger. And then I wrote on my little thing here, this says lettuce. 6, see the 6? Black-seeded Simpson. That means that it's recommended that you have 6 inches between each of these lettuces that are growing down here. See my dirty hands? That's because when I start weeding around these, I'm not wearing gloves. Okay? A lot of people love gloves. Gloves are great for many, many things, but I'll tell you, when you're getting in deep, when you're getting in close to these, and you've got to reach in and see that I'm not going to pull out the lettuce. I'm only going to pull out these tiny little weed things. I've got to get my fingers in there, and I need to make sure that I'm not grabbing hold of the lettuce. And if I have my gloves on, it's very possible that I'm going to end up pulling out some of my crop instead of pulling just the weeds out. I don't want to pull my lettuce out. So yeah, I weed with my fingers. I don't wear gloves when I do it, unless I'm doing large areas. Like I could put my gloves on to come in here and just pull all this out because this is not a big deal. Heck, if you wanted, you can just rip the ground up right here where there's no lettuce actually growing. Yank this around and then just pull these out. And it might be quicker that way. You can do it that way if you want. Even just messing them around like that and doing this with them, like you do with your hoe for some things, that's going to kill most of those. And then the next day or so, if any of them come back, you could always come in and do it. But I don't know, if they're loose, I like to grab them and pull them out. It's been raining, so the soil is real easy to work with and to get these weeds out of here. So then the next thing you have to decide is how much you're thinning this stuff. It's been raining. It's very wet. Now, look, I just touched it with my dirty hands. Oh, my beautiful lettuce is brown. Oh, my gosh, right? No, it'll be fine. So I really have seen a lot of people doing the gardens where it's square foot gardening, and they say they can just squash everything together. I'm trying it a little different this year. I've always had a bigger garden. I have lots of space, and so I don't mind giving the stuff the room it needs. Sometimes it's been hard for me to do because I think, oh, more stuff if you squash it together. But this year I really am trying to give things a little more space. So I'm actually going to come through in here and rip some of this lettuce out of here. It's funny that this is taller. And as you go on, this is the same lettuce. There's a spot I got nothing, right? You go down, there's more. You go down here, and these have barely started growing down here at the end. They just do their own thing. I don't know why. Some seeds sprout quicker. It's also possible that some of them were deeper in the ground. That when I made my little thing with the hoe and threw those seeds in, these ones down here might have gotten buried deeper. And so it took them longer to come up. And that's why they're not as big. So anyway, down here it's a little difficult to figure out what you want to do. I could